Wow. Happy Veterans Day. And we're coming on a little bit earlier today. It's been so many late nights, and I'm very happy to come on at 11 o'clock. So hopefully we can. Our goal is always 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. So let's see if we're on. And I don't know, I'm not showing up yet. I'm not showing. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes so I can see what people are doing. So we have a lot of news again today, and we're going to start with we're getting a lot of love. We're getting so much love because the truth is coming out, and everybody's going to love Richard as much as we do. As much as we do. So, doesn't want to. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. I see it live. Okay.
As we do.
There we go. So today is day 1,929 days. I hope everyone can hear me. 1,929 days since Richard was forcibly removed from his barracks room there on Fort Bliss, and his life was taken from him on Fort Bliss, and his body was stolen from Fort Bliss. It's a very big deal that his body was stolen. You just don't steal bodies, okay? You just don't steal the bodies. That's really criminal. And they, of course, then abused his body, which is also criminal. This is all sacrilege. It's called sacrilege because I think we're just so used to having that a law against that. But in history and in different countries around the world, it's not always been that way. This is the way you handle remains is in our country, is a very Christian way. We respect it because the body is made in the image of God. And so when you mistreat the image of God like that, it's sacrilege. It's absolutely sacrilege. And God is no buttercup, right? God is no buttercup. So that is why, criminals, we are, we give them death rights. And of course, through our whole history with non-governmental organization, NGOs, right? We are very giving. We give money for even unidentified migrants to be buried properly. We don't just remember when all the condors, they were like, oh, the condors are going extinct. That's because there weren't dead bodies laying around everywhere. When you have a lot of condors, when you have a lot of these birds, it's because bodies are not being buried, right? And now the new thing is, and through all of this, I'm not in agreement with it at all. But the new thing is cremation, where they can absolutely destroy evidence. And these free cremations or whatever, I'm not for that. I think they should absolutely bury these bodies because the evidence should not be destroyed at all. And anyway, so those bodies need to be available for forensic review if needed. And we know that the way our organizations, way our institutions and our agencies function, many times there are individuals in there that are very bad, that they are up to no good. And so you have to wait over, 5.5 years to get some justice. And so you need to have the evidence available so that you can have it for a review. And I think in the Walmart mass shooting, those bodies are huge evidence to the types of calibers that were used, the direction that the bullets came from, and on and on and on. And so I think that cremation is not the way to go. Not the way to go at all. I think it obstructs justice. And I know that so many, I mean, even some of my loved ones have been cremated. But after going through all of this and seeing the fraud around all of this funeral business, we need to, it needs to be so strict what they are allowed to do with bodies, right? And criminals will be criminals. And this is really the worst type of criminals. So we have some breaking news today um, that the owners of Del Carmen Funeral Home, which is a nexus, okay? It's a nexus in this whole funeral home cartel tied network. It's a nexus. This home um, was raided this morning. And so they're looking for documentation, a lot of documentation, because it takes, if you're going to get money from NGOs or from the VA and whatever, there has to be a paper trail, right? I don't know. I don't know what all that they were looking for, but we are, the report is that they are looking for the reports themselves. For the reports themselves, who was there, what for, yada, yada, yada. So that is a really, really big deal in this whole thing. So, a lot is happening behind the scenes, and I wish I could tell you what they found. I'm getting rumors about different things, but we'll see. We'll see. It's getting right now, what we know in the breaking news is that they were raided. And this comes, 48 hours after former Chihuahua Governor Javier Corral Gerardo just blasts the media, and I would say Sylvia Brunda Firth, because this is part of her area, of tampering and manufacturing evidence to be used against him, like a smear kit. A smear kit. Let's create a smear kit I can take from it when I want to smear someone or discredit someone. So, yeah, that came right after or during this whole thing with BBC with President Trump, right? Uh, tampering with video, to uh, say that he was, um, inciting violence at the J6. So uh, that's all fabricated. That's manufactured evidence. And of course, we have a mirror of that in Judge Rodriguez's case, um, where they were tampering audio recordings against him. So, this whole same information, same playbook. I think that's the best word. The same playbook. Yeah. And of course, what they did with Richard, They absolutely started targeting him in 2019, 2020 to do whatever they could to discredit his whistleblower complaints. And just finally, they had to take his life because he couldn't be compromised. He absolutely couldn't be compromised. And we're finding out that there were things in the case, evidence in the case that was also manufactured and tampered with. And we're going to release that too. So just really big having the generals the generals involved in this it's stunning. It's stunning. And to have this raid is a big leap forward to even getting justice within the military against this failed leadership in Richard's case. Absolutely. So thank you, Anicia, for coming on. Thank you, Lanny, for coming on. It's been such a really busy Veterans Day. We've been really working behind the scenes, getting the word out and, just filing. And we're going to share all those filings with you because it's just when you file these cases, it's just stunning. I don't even think the people that are on the receiving end get the full force of all of the information that we're sending in, because it's just so enormous, and it's kind of like lost in translation or whatever, when you see it for yourself. And then if you just briefly read about it, it's two different things. So, and I know those that have been following since the beginning understand what I'm talking about. So thank you so much, everybody. Just keep sharing every day, and just have a great, I just want to say to be courageous, because, Veterans Day for us is also St. Martin's Day. And St. Martin's Day was that courageous soldier, was that hero soldier with the red cape that split his cape for the poor, that was selfless serving, right? Gave of himself, so that's what we did. Today it was just an amazing day. All the kids with their red capes for St. Martin's, and sharing with the less fortunate, right? The less fortunate. And that's what really truly makes a great veteran, isn't it? Is someone that serves the country. Someone that serves the country and puts the country before himself or herself. And it's we need to get back to that Medal of Honor ethos. We need to get back to that, because that is what makes us a great country. So thank you so much. God bless you. And I will be back tomorrow.